Hey guys, I'm here for another gaming collection video. This time I'm going to do my PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, which I think is probably arguably my biggest collection. I got into PlayStation super late into my life. I was always a Nintendo person. I always had the latest Nintendo consoles, and then my first console that wasn't Nintendo was the original Xbox, and then from there I got a 360, so on and so forth. So I didn't get a PS2 until I was in high school, and I didn't get a PS3 until I think 3 years ago. So ever since then I've kind of been scattering to collect games to kind of catch up on all the things that I've missed. So I'll start with my PS2 collection. Most of the games that I have in this collection are games that I've picked up at PAX, my last 3 years at PAX, and I also have a local gaming store around here that still sells PS2 games. A lot of stores won't sell them anymore because they're pretty dated, but luckily for me I've been able to pick up quite a few different games from different places. So, let's get started. I have Chrono Cross, which is a fantastic game. And this one's actually for the original PlayStation. This is not PS2, but I have it in my collection. I have Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2. Very, very time-consuming and very extensive games, but also very good. I have Atelier Iris 2, the Azoth of Destiny. I, of course, started my Atelier game playing with the newer ones, the ones for the PS3, but I've gone back and I've really wanted to play some of the older ones. I've done a lot of work on the Atelier wiki, and I've learned a lot about the history of these games, and it's really made me want to go back and play more. So I am hoping to get more of these in my collection. I have Tulip, which is a game that was given to me as a birthday gift. This game is very, very strange, and I'd really like to do a Let's Play of it one day because it's just so insanely bizarre. I really don't have any words about this game. It's probably one of the weirdest ones in my entire collection, so if you want to see something weird, definitely look up a little bit about Tulip if you have the time. This is Silent Hill Shattered Memories, the PS2 version. I also have it for the Wii version. I also have the Wii version, which I talked about when I was going over my Wii games. I have Silent Hill 4, The Room, because of course I love Silent Hill and I try to get my hand on as many of these games as I can. So I'm really glad I've got that. I have Tales of the Abyss. There is also a new and improved version for the 3DS, but I don't have that at the moment. This is the Final Fantasy VII Collector's Edition. So again, just some really nice sort of packaging to go along with it. I managed to find this at a used game store, which is really nice. I thought I might as well pick it up since it is the Collector's Edition. I have Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. I also have these games for the PS3. I have the remastered HD version of them. I have Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3, and again, I have the remastered version of these on the Xbox with the HD collection, but again, these versions are much better than the remakes in my opinion, and again, it's just sort of more or less a novelty and a collector's item to have these. And again, really glad I have these for my collection because they are one of my beloved sort of series that I'm really into. Radiata Stories for the PS2. I have Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. I also have a Star Ocean game for my 360. Really, really good series of games. I have Rogue Galaxy. I have La Pusille Tactics. I do believe that you can get this on Steam. I have seen this game recently released on another system, although I'm not too sure. I think you can also find it on PSN as well, if that's something you're interested in. Sudoku Tactics. This one's actually very, very similar to Valkyria Chronicles, if anyone's ever played that game. This is sort of like an older version of that. Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland. I have the PS2 version of this. My Let's Play was done on the PS3 Virtual Console because that's a lot easier to record. But again, I have the original piece from my collection. I have Innocent Life, a futuristic Harvest Moon. This is sort of like a Harvest Moon spin-off game. Something a little bit different. I have Castle Shigagami 2. I do believe I picked that up at PAX. Siren, which is a Japanese horror game. Very, very scary. So if you're wanting something to freak you out, this is definitely one that you can add to the list. Definitely worth giving a play. Resident Evil Outbreak, I have as well. And the last game I have on my list here is Dragon Quest VIII. This is Journey of the Cursed Valley. This is one of the only games that was released on console. Most of the Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior games are all on handheld. So that's it in terms of my PS2 collection. So I will round up my many PS3 games and I'll get started with those. Now, because my PlayStation 3 was a shared system, there are a couple games in here that I have that I don't really play. They're games that have been left over from other people living here, or games that just aren't really my style, but I haven't really gotten rid of them yet because I don't know if the people who previously lived here would want them, or if it's something that I can eventually get into. So for the most part, my collection's games that I do play, but some of them are things that just aren't really things that I am into. Alright, let's start this gigantic stack here. First one on my list is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. This was a game I actually bought for somebody as a gift along with the guide. I pre-ordered it for them and I watched them play it. I haven't played it myself, but really, really extensive, really amazing, very beautiful game, and you can find this game for insanely cheap now. So this, I think, is something that's definitely worth giving a play. A lot of grinding involved in this game. It's very, very like typical RPG grind fest type thing, but I'm really into that, so it doesn't really bother me too much. I have Dead Space, Dead Space 2, and Dead Space 3. These are all in the plastic still. Fun story about these was I was shopping on Amazon and I saw that these were in a bundle for pretty cheap, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll just add this to my cart and I'll buy it and ship it to my house. But I meant to buy the Xbox 360 versions of the games because I have a friend that I could do Dead Space 3 multiplayer with, and I usually like to play games on my Xbox if they're not exclusives. So I ended up getting the PS3 version of these, and I kept them in the plastic because I was hoping to bring them to a used game store and trade them in for the 360 versions, but unfortunately they don't let you do that. They say that even if they are still in the plastic, they have to treat them as used, and they would only give me like 10 bucks for all of them. So that was a bit disappointing. I do plan on unwrapping these at some point, but I've kept them wrapped just because it's just kind of a really funny story to me. So anyways, I will get around to those one of these days. I have Valkyria Chronicles, which was a gift from my roommates, people that used to live with me. This is a really, really amazing game. This is also on Steam. It just got recently released on Steam as well. And I have a couple of other games here. I have Atelier Rorona, The Alchemist of Arland. This was the first one of the PS3 Atelier games. I have Atelier Totori, The Adventurer of Arland, which was the second game. And then in my stack somewhere, I also have Atelier Meru, which was a game, of course, that I did a Let's Play on. And this was the third game in the series. So I've got those three in the Arland trilogy. I have a couple more Atelier games as well, which I will get to in my stack eventually. I have Artanelico Koga. This was my first platinum, I do believe, on the PlayStation. This is, again, a very, very extensive JRPG. Very messed up, is all I'm going to say. Very, very strange thing, like straight out of Japan. So if that's up your alley, I would definitely give this game a go. There's a couple of games in this series as well, if that's what you're into. Saints Row 2. Because it was the only Saints Row game I don't own, so I picked this one up to complete the collection. White Knight Chronicles, which was a gift. Atelier Escher and Logi. This is in the plastic. I pre-ordered it and I still haven't played it. This is one of the newer Atelier games. This is the second... Oh, I don't know how to describe it. There was one released recently, and this one was released before it. So this one is relatively new. So that one I'm going to give a play eventually again. I'll get around to it, I promise. The Guided Fate Paradox. This one I bought used at a game store. This is Condemned 2 Bloodshot. A horror game. I was gonna get one of my roommates to play it and have me watch because I would be too much of a wuss to play it, but it turns out that they were a wuss too, so I haven't actually gotten around to that yet. Here is my Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remaster. I talked about that when I showed the PS2 versions of these games, so I do have that in my library. Fairy Fencer F was a game I just recently bought off of Amazon. It just got shipped to my house not too long ago. Tears to Tiara 2, Heir of the Overlord. Again, another game that I bought recently and was just shipped to my house. I kind of just went on Amazon and just thought, oh, these look good. I'll play these eventually. So, just adding to my collection of stuff. Naughty Bear. Again, a game I bought used. I had heard good things about it. Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. All three of the Uncharted games came with my PlayStation, so I do have the other ones in my pile kicking around somewhere. Tales of Legendia 2. Again, just something else in my Tales collection. One of my most favorite, if not my favorite, game series of all times. And then I have the first Tales of Legendia game, and I actually have the collector's edition of this. And this is another game that I have the Platinum Trophy for. I played the crap out of this game. It is wonderful. I love it. I have Tales of Graces. More Tales games. The Last of Us, which I have the guide for as well. This is a two-part collection. This is Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. This is sort of the HD collection edition. This is very, very good. These games look fantastic in this version, by the way. And these are two games that are both really, really good as well. If this is something that you can get your hands on, I would totally recommend it. Time and Eternity. Drakengard 3, something I saw at Walmart and I decided to pick it up. Hyperdimension Neptunia MK2. There are a lot of games in this series as well. This is a really, really good series of games. If you're into the JRPG sort of genre, again, a lot of the stuff I have on PS3 are JRPGs, RPGs, adventure games, those types of things. This is Trinity Universe. Here I have Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. Prince of Persia Trilogy. Now this is a game that, again, was left behind by one of my roommates. Not something that I would probably play because I just stink at it. I'm just not good at these types of games, but Prince of Persia's fun to watch. So again, probably not something I would play, but I haven't gotten rid of it because I don't know if one of these days down the road someone is going to want it or come back for it, or maybe just come over and play it on my system. I don't know. And then here are my other two Uncharted games. I have Uncharted 2 Among Thieves and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, which again came with the PS3 when we bought it. So it was nice that we had games that came with it to get us started. My beloved Tales of Symphonia HD. This includes the GameCube version of Tales of Symphonia as well as the Wii version of Tales of Symphonia 2. LA Noire, which was a game I played last year. Great game from Rockstar. Another one of their fantastic titles. I have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell trilogy. Again, just like with Prince of Persia, not really my kind of game. I'm not too much into the stealth genre. Something I'll probably never play, but again, holding on to it in case someone else wants it or needs it or whatever. Beyond Two Souls. This is something I'm currently working on with a friend. Heavy Rain. This is something I just finished and I just got the platinum for, so I'm pretty excited about that. This game here is Atelier Shally. This is Alchemist of the Dusk Sea. This one just came out. I pre-ordered this as well. This came out about March 15th, I think. So I only just got this a month ago. The newest Atelier game for the PS3. And then finally, oh, all my games are falling over. Okay, there we go. Finally, I have the Metal Gear Solid Legacy collection. This was a gift that I bought for a friend who, again, doesn't live here anymore, but I want to keep it around because Metal Gear Solid is one of his favorite game series of all time, something he grew up playing as a kid, and, you know, he loves it and whatnot. So, this is really nice, actually. It comes in a sleeve. It has a really, really nice art book included, and it has a lot of games in it. So for what I paid for this, this was a smoking good deal. This will keep you entertained forever. Yeah, if this is something you want to pick up if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, I would, you know, totally recommend it. That's all the games in my PS3 collection. Again, like I said, mostly stockpiling stuff. A lot of my games are still in plastic. A lot of stuff I haven't played. I also have a lot of games on PlayStation Network because I'm a PlayStation Plus member, so I get free games every month. So, again, I will never run out of games to play, which is why I haven't really gotten into the new gen consoles yet, because there's just so much for me to still play. So anyways, that's it for that, and then finally my last video in these series will be my Xbox and Xbox 360 collection. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next video.